Hey everyone, Solomon Charlie. See if anybody comes in. Hey Cajun, Brian. Nothing to do tonight, so I figured I'd come on. I did miss Friday night. Hey Steve, Bob. Anybody wants to come on in? Let me. I got to put the link up, don't I? Present. Invite. Gotta go and get YouTube up and running. I pinned the message. And let me see if I can get things straightened out.
Hey,
there he is.
Man, I just talked to you.
Yeah, I know. I got to get my YouTube thing straightened out here. Working on it.
Hey, Charlie, look at this.
Yeah, it's huge.
And
that is for what? Pollen?
Yeah, this is we'll make 600 pounds of pollen patties.
Hey Tim, seen your video there. Looks like to me you had a queen getting that there cell builder. Same thing that happened to Bob.
Same thing. Wiped out all the cells.
Racing. Big howdy, everybody. Glad that you could show up. Sorry about Friday night, but I had to take off. With some friends of mine were playing in the area. Wanted to check them out. I haven't seen them for quite a while.
Lee was only like 12 subs away from 500. So 12 subs away from giving away a new jacket.
Is that right? Yeah, Tim Huffman, I subbed to you there. Enjoy your videos and all. If you want to, come on in, talk some bees, especially queen rearing. That's what we're all here. I'm wanting to get ready here in the next month or two, but Bobby's trying to do it. He's down there in South Carolina. I know you've been doing it quite a bit. Of course, you don't get the winters down there in Florida and everything.
Well, we're actually starting to get backfilled. The brood boxes are getting backfilled with pollen. And
I'm telling you, you need to put the honey supers on. They're telling you they need space to store.
I should go ahead and throw some undrawn comb on there. Maybe they'll draw out a super before the real flow hits.
They will.
So
they will.
But you know what that means? Then I have to wax them. Gonna have to wax them for sure.
Well, now how much wax?
I've got some drawn comb, but I mean, obviously, I've got more undrawn frames than I have drawn frames for honey supers right now. Just sitting.
Yeah, but are they coated or not?
Yeah, they're coated, but like a couple of the frames that I pulled out of some boxes, they were just starting to make the wacky comb on it. So, and they were acorns too. So, I feel like I need to pull them out and give them the old roll of wax and see if that improves my chances on them. I just scraped the burr comb off and threw it in my solar wax melter.
Yeah.
Of course, then as soon as I did that, it turned cold, right? So, but it gets 75, 80 degrees. That thing will start working slow. I mean, it's not like in the heat of the summer when the pan is all liquid in the bottom. It's kind of more like a waterfall that's iced over, right? It's like gets over there and it's just like balling up there where it's pooling.
Yeah, I mean, from if you're backfilling your brood nest up, they are looking for a place to store honey. Now, it might not be a big, grand slam amount of honey, but I'd have one box on there myself.
Oh yeah, we definitely went
And if
through.
you don't have any, I don't know. You say you have some drawn comb for honey supers.
Yeah, I've got some. I mean, I don't have.
I put one box of drawn comb on there and go with it.
See if they'll move on up to it.
Steve or no, Dennis says he lost 50%. Not good.
Well, I lost. I'm not even sure what my percent of loss was going into the winter, because it just kind of, our winter is not winter, right? So they start shrinking down, and then now I'm back up over where I was going. I know that I was only at like 20 going into the winter, and and then I lost, I know 2, so I was at 17, and now I'm up 9 off of that, right? So we'll see how it goes. Found the queens in both of those swarms. Found them, so they look good. The box that I accidentally took the queen out, and that I was going to make the starter finisher, but I ended up taking the queen. Right. Now she's got a daughter in there, and she's just slamming that old hive with brood, so it's going pretty good for that right now.
But yeah, I would, like I say, I would be putting honey, if they're packing honey in the brood chamber, and put honey super on them. Give them at least one.
And pollen taking all of her space, So we pulled out some that I'm going to end up dropping in nukes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then gave her some drawn comb down there that she can lay up. Hopefully she can lay it faster than they can store nectar and pollen in it. Well, right. A good thing is it rained today. So yesterday we put the combs in. Today it rained. Right. So they didn't fly today. So maybe that'll give her a chance to just go crazy in there and lay it up where they can't.
Right.
And that colony actually has another box on top of it, but they really haven't moved up into it.
I think.
Hey, DC, that's the benefit. I'll call that a plus. If there's a plus to losing a colony, is now you have extra drawn comb.
Yeah, Sean, no, there's no snow here. It flurried. I'm gonna say, I don't think it flurried yesterday. It flurried here a couple of days ago, just for, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe, just enough to kind of see it coming out of the sky, and that was it. It's been raining more so here than anything else. I know that Carl, two bee brats up there, and he's around Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. I know it snowed like 6 inches up there or something like that. And all that. Here comes Sebastian.
They could have done the Demaray. Could have done the Demaray yesterday, several of them, but I chose not to because it takes so many boxes.
England is as we have went international. We can't.
How are you?
All right, Sebastian, turn your mic up a little bit.
You're at work?
No, not today. No. Got to take off.
Where are you at in England, Sebastian? Are you in the lower end of England or something? I'm not really sure.
South, yeah, dead in the
south.
Next
South England?
Next to the water, yeah, Southampton, yeah. Yeah, not far from the water.
Oh, you're not far from the water?
No far. Probably about 3 miles.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
not too far. You didn't go live on Saturday either.
Sorry?
I said you didn't go live this weekend either yesterday.
No. I'm planning to get next weekend. No, I have a long week at work, and I'm leadership. I work in leadership stuff, so I'm working nights. It's not easy.
Right.
So sometimes you got to get,
Get some rest.
have a rest as well. You can't just get all the time.
And the bad part about it for me is I work during the week, right? So when I'm doing lives, it's in the middle of your nights. So you're at work, right? So on Saturday and Sunday, when I got to get out in the bee yard and do my work,
yeah,
it's hard to do, get on YouTube and stuff like that sometimes, especially now that it's getting warmer.
I just show your bag and you just got the bio activity, yeah.
Oh, this is the new pack that they have for commercial beekeepers.
Yeah, I ordered that as well.
You ordered the big one?
Yeah.
Where'd you order it from?
From Canada.
Oh, well, he shut his site off now for at least for the US, where you can't order directly from them anymore.
Yeah, Canada, I got it already. It's on my way already. So
cool. About 3 years when it gets there.
Sorry?
In 3 years when it gets there, like I looked at that shipping for you today, right? And it said 1 to 4 weeks is what it said.
Yeah, but that by post. Be honestly, I'll tell you something. I just sometimes got seeds from United States, and they just sometimes come in a week. Depends. Sometimes coming in a week, sometimes coming in 2 weeks. It's all depending what's the time sending out, I think. But most of the time we got them in 2 weeks, around about 2 weeks. From Canada, quite quick. Maximum week. Sometimes come 2 weeks, but that's.
Well, that's not
I
bad.
think the stuff what I have sent, they sent me out already. I saw in it popped up update on email.
I wasn't even expecting I'm a distributor, right, on Apis, so I wasn't expecting my order to come in until Monday, and it showed up yesterday.
You should put the your swarm magic. You should put on the Europe side as well. On your Amazon Europe. I will.
If I put it on Amazon Europe, I don't know what the shipping for that and the fees.
They will have to pay for that, so it's nothing to do.
If I sent it to the warehouse in Europe and they kept it there,
yeah,
they would charge me every month for storage in the warehouse. Then they charge me a fee on every item that's sold. So right now, like when you order on Amazon in the United States,
yeah,
I ship every one of those, right?
Yeah.
Like I've got probably 10 of these packages down here on the floor ready to go out tomorrow.
So how many?
And I pack all these up and ship them. And I have to pay for the post on it. It comes out of my Amazon money. So I don't know how I would do with Europe. I could actually find out. I know I'm listed in Mexico and Canada, but Canada took me off for some crazy rule they have over there. And then Mexico, I've never sold anything in Mexico. So never had to send anything to Mexico.
But that's interesting, actually, because people here are using just lemongrass, most of them. So for me, people here are using just lemongrass. Sorry. So it's very interesting because but I just saw the video, like Mike, all the guys using that magic, swarm thing. That is just tell you that something is in there magical. Because I use lemongrass, I catch. Do you know what, Bob? I catch for the last 3 years in the back of my garden swarms. Last year was swarm. My wife, she said to me, I was asleep after night. My wife, she said, she can't wake me up. She said, come on downstairs, quick now. There was sky was black on the between the houses, and the nook was full. We cannot get inside. But there was like for 10 minutes, it was mad, and that's it. After 10 minutes, it was sky clear. I would say plane can go through, but it was. But I was using lemongrass, But I like to use something, you know, especially
Different.
I lost few hives this year. Like you just mentioned to DC. DC mentions he lost the hives. Yeah, that's a free combs. You know, you could now is easy even use Bob Swarm Catcher. You could catch good swarms early in the year, man. I tell you now, free bees free.
He's still got
Uh,
snow right now too, I think.
yeah, that's what you should do. Baiting up all the hives, what you dead one. Don't throw the bees out. Just keep some of the dead bees inside. That's apparently the biggest trick you could have. I know one member from my club. He catch last year 36 swarms, and he collect them and all that stuff. And he said the biggest trick is in there is the bees must be some dead bees inside and then that nook or box whatever you got.
Right.
When you put a good bait on there, that's where they come. So that stuff, magic stuff. Bob, I will buy it. Don't worry. I will give you a bow next week.
Well, just let me know when you want it. I'll figure out how to send you
Yeah.
whatever, however to do it, so that we can get it the cheapest over there.
I'll fill up my highs quickly.
It's a, you know, it's been working. Knock on wood, well for people.
I can see this.
But the thing is that, and I've said it before, the lure is only part of the equation, right? You got to have the right size box. It's got to be in the right location. It's got to have, you know, the old comb or propolis. All that helps, right?
Yep.
And then the swarm lure just helps them find it. So,
yeah. Charlie, did you try already his magic stuff?
No, it's still winter, still snowing up there.
It's still winter here as far as for swarm lure. I don't really go out after swarms.
Where are you, Charlie? Where you are, Charlie?
I'm in Maryland, close to Baltimore.
Where's that? Is that northwest?
No, it's on the East Coast.
On the East Coast.
I'm about halfway up the Atlantic coast from Florida and Vermont and all that. We're about midway up, and I'm about what would you say? About 7 hours from you, Bob?
7 or 8 hours north of me.
7, 8 hours north.
Couple of hours for Canada. Couple hours to Canada.
Canada, it's.
Well, you're about 4 or 5 hours from New York City, New York.
About 4 hours.
4 hours from New York. So.
Yeah, who wants to go there? Yes, Grammy. I'm close. I'm about 45 minutes from Washington D.C. That's from Baltimore Beltway to Washington D.C. Beltway. If you don't hit a traffic jam,
or you have a sniper.
Be honest, you guys. It's not just in. I see Josh. I posted a video in California. They got snow over there and temperature crazy. Here in UK, we just got like 2 weeks ago. Nice warm. Start getting warming up. Start get trees coming up, and then suddenly on Monday change the weather and gets all snow up to the top in there. So 2 feet snow some of area, 1 foot snow. Minus temperatures. -11 was yesterday up in north. Probably about hour and a half up in top London was -11. So it's what 35, around about 35 height, yeah.
No, 0 is 32. So if it's negative,
so it was -11. So it was 10.
20s.
Yeah, 10 probably. -11. It was 10.
Still cold. I mean, it was 82 degrees the other day here, and today it was 55.
Yeah, but today we have 75 degrees today, which is plus 13, 12 we have today during the day. But nighttime, this week we will get probably plus 10, 8, 10 for a week. But from what I see from window already, is rain, hard rain.
Right.
Yeah, it's been cold here for the last week. It's well, today it was like 42, 43 degrees. And then it was raining a little bit here. And let's see, Friday, I think it rained that afternoon.
And, so I'm looking at the weather today, or for tomorrow. It's saying it's supposed to be a high of 64, but at night 37. So we've kind of gone back in temperature a little bit right now. So maybe they'll eat some of that nectar they have stored in that box and free up some queen space there.
Yeah, it's 38F here and all that right now. But I don't know. It's going to be it'll be the end of this month. And then it might be cold in April. Who knows? I mean, sometimes we've had cold spells a couple years ago where it was till May before we
Hmm.
got warm.
See, Michael said his bees were flying at 43. Mine typically, I'll get a couple bees out right around 50 degrees.
Yeah.
52 degrees, a little bit busy, but a little bit busier. But when it gets to like 60, it's on.
Uh,
70 degrees, forget about it. There's
at the
bees
moment,
everywhere.
yeah. But I did. Do you remember I was speaking about my old queen? And I was popping up to my where she is actually in on the yard, and she was saying that six was plus maybe 6 7 between that temperature was. It's quite a little bit windy and showery. The bees flying from this nook. I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa, they keep them going. So it's true something. They are the carnolius. They are hard bees and back fast. Um, I'm actually do a lot of researching about the backfuzz, carnolius, and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So because I want to bring in some stock from across to Europe to here for breeding, and I find out the carnolius it can be the magic for this area because cross with backfuzz that could make a really hard bees. It's
What?
like Bob Biney. He was got the bees from what's it called?
Corey
The,
Stevens,
they were no Corey Stevens.
Sue Colby.
They're, no, from where what was it? The Indiana from Indiana. Chris Werner.
Right.
So that's some of the bees what they're breeding over there. They are very hard in your area, and I believe some of the bees they be doing really well in the area as well. Don't
I'm
know
a
up in North,
little bit
but in
north.
my area, they probably will do really well because what we have here, you got the similar weather. Sometimes you got sometimes rains for a long time and all this stuff. So it's quite a similar one here.
They had Lawrence put out a video today about his Buckfast and the AMA, right? The difference that he has between them, or AMM. Sorry, not AMA, AMM, whatever that stands for.
Now, here's a good question for you, Sebastian. You know, they talk about was it who was had the buck fast? Yeah, Bobby.
Lawrence at Black Mountain Honey.
Okay, well, okay, that was over in England. But what was it? Carl had Buckfast, and then I've heard in some other that there really isn't a Buckfast, a true Buckfast bee anymore. Is that true in your where you live?
Well, do you know what? I
I mean,
think
a true lineage, I guess you would say. You know,
truly, so there is a breakfast there,
okay,
but there's a lot of crosses as well. You go watch where you buy it from. So while I'm doing research, I have breakfast from people where it's called what's his name? I'll tell you a second. But Peter is called Peter Little. Peter Little is unfortunately he's not with us anymore. He's not with our beekeepers. He basically lost with the COVID at that time. But his wife and his son they still doing breeding queens. Peter was the person who worked with a breakfast, and he was unbelievable beekeeper. I was talking many times since I started with him, and he was just absolutely amazing person. And he was saying all about how do breeding, it's everything, but you're trying it clean as you can, and they do insemination. The insemination is the part like Corey did mention. If someone listen Corey when and Nathan was interviewing him, there is a clear message how important is clear the blood of the insemination. That's one of the most important thing. If you inseminated a queen directly from
Right.
drones, correct drones, that queen, it will produce top line. But she will not produce. You know when you get open mated, I don't know if you did spot, but if you get open mated, just example, Italian
Right.
queen, what colors they're coming up? Some of them come in yellow, some of them come black. Did I'm right? Dark, very dark bees. Some of them come light, like they should, but some of them come really like dark queens, dark bees. Why? Because it's drones. It's all cross. But if you get like insemination Corin mentioned, you get your, drones from correct source. You got the correct from Italians,
Hmm.
from the stock correctly. There will be no different colors there. There will be the same bees color coming out.
Right.
They were typical Italians. And this is true that because I did speak to someone. I mean, he's actually inseminated for over 15 years now, and he said to me the same thing, same words. He said this is one of the most important breeding. If you want to get breeding and you get good stock for breeding for a long time, that's how you should do. Go for inseminated queens. You could get for 2 seasons or 3 seasons. You could breed from there, and you could replace that queen because she will pay you back what you pay for her.
Hmm.
So
So there is some true lineage there, as long as you
yeah,
get the right breeder and that kind of stuff. So
absolutely. So
okay.
Peter Leal, since I know him, I spoke to him and I asked the questions about that, and he said to me he was inseminated for over 15 years now because that is a truly stock.
Hmm.
You could see if you get chance, Charlie, get find out the Denmark breakfast. Okay,
Denmark. Yeah.
yeah. So there's people, this man, he was work with Peter and with breakfast together. So is breakfast still there?
Okay.
But
No,
is
I
it like
guess
I
what I
said?
heard was is that there was, like you said, there was some inbreeding or crossbreeding, I guess you would call it. And as far as the purity of it, it wasn't there much anymore.
So
But what you're.
breakfast eating a lot of in the winter,
Hmm.
massively. I could tell you this now. Um, so I bred queens from breakfast, but I could tell you this now. All the big queens, what they've been bred from breakfast, they're eating a lot of storage for the winter. They're
Okay.
eating lots.
They sound like
They are,
Italians.
yeah, but they're very good bees. When you got a heavy floor, they're just like machine. They're machine, really machine. So it's nothing come free, but it's
Hmm.
also they're not that hygienic, clean. What I could see, what the darker bees, which is Carnolius. I could see the cross Carnolia is quite more hygienic cleaning. I could see that. So
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that there's some hygienics and in all these different breed of bees
yeah,
that they've
oh
been
yeah,
working
absolutely.
on, but
Mm.
Well,
it all kind of boils down to
It,
one thing, and that's you
Charlie, but
need to be treating and all that stuff.
Charlie, but did you see the hygienic man? That then here, look down here, and then top. He's
who, me?
lost the
Oh,
hair.
hi
He's
him.
lost the hair. He's
Uh,
lost the beard.
shave my
Yeah.
beard. Well, hey, as far as like hygienic bees, um, I've watched several Michael Palmer videos, and some of those are what's the Philly Beekeeper Guild or the Pennsylvania Beekeepers Guild,
Yep.
where Michael Palmer was on there, and people were asking about VSH, and he said it's bullshit. I mean, that's what he said. He said and I'm quoting him. I don't have a direction on it because he says it's bullshit because he raises tons of queens and he selects
Yep.
from his most hygienic
Yep. Mike,
bee
yes, that's right.
colonies. And he says he at max has maybe 8% of his colonies after 20 years of breeding have a hygienic trait or have the hygienic traits. So it's not something that is very easy to attain. And
No, that's right.
Even if you are doing artificial insemination, yeah, maybe you have a higher chance, but you're looking at everybody always wants to say we're breeding for this, we're trying to get this, and that's great. The thing is that just because you're breeding from a drone and a queen that have similar traits, they have other traits in there too, right? Not just those traits. And
Absolutely.
you don't know which trait is going to rear its head, right? I mean, that's just the way it works. I mean, with DNA, right? You have
Oh yeah, that you absolutely right, Bob. I'm biggest fan of Mike anyway. Actually, I could tell you this now. I'm actually spoke to him, and I'm planning to get a live chat with him to here on YouTube.
I've never met him. I've only talked to
soon as before he start a season. But I tell you now, it's very true. If someone watching his some of his videos or lives and how he does so he does it tons and tons and breeding queens every season, and his selection is very high standard on the selection on the queens.
Keith and I have the same philosophy there. I'm breeding just to get a live queen. That's it.
Well, that's right, Keith. Yeah, I agree with you, Keith. But
wherever you're at, like Charlie's got a different temperatures and everything than I do. You have different temperatures than both of us, right? So it's like that's why when you go to your yard, you go to your strongest colony that's doing the best, because hopefully they're most adapted for your situation, and you're trying to emulate that, right? So I'm nobody to disagree with, like Corey Stevens and all that. Hey, I applaud them.
no.
If you guys can make a Varroa a queen that is Varroa sensitive and can reduce it, good for you.
Bomb. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Boom.
Would definitely try to incorporate that.
However,
they haven't done it in how many years since the Varroa's been out here? All these people have been trying to do it, and it hasn't happened. So
a long time.
So hopefully they make strides, but you never know. Just because you have, I think Grayson said he's putting hives a mile away from his hive for.
Okay, we're talking about Varroa. Did you? I sent you the link, Bob. Did you look in that link about this?
The
boxes,
warmer?
the yellow Varroa boxes? Well, they make them in Germany.
Look at those, yeah.
What do you think about them? Did you watch the video on that? YouTube video?
I did watch the video, but it didn't show. I mean, maybe the one I looked at did not have as much information.
So what made me interesting? They actually go into hives. They take the frames, puts inside in this box in there.
So warmer box, right?
Yeah, it's got like Varroa. They plug it in, and there's a lot of Varroa on the bottom there. After when they take them out,
but they already have. They have something like that here already. It's like a bottom board that you put on, and it heats the whole colony up. You remember what that was, Charlie?
Oh yeah.
They moved the bees to the box, and then they do it, and then put the bees back in where they should. So, and they do on the autumn as early in the spring, and the success is apparently massive. I was asked someone, and actually I was spoke yesterday. One of the German bee farmer, he's running 20 over 1,000 hives. Ask him about that questions, and he said, "I got 20 of them."
Oh, he bought 20 of them?
Yes, he said, "I'm not putting any chemicals in there. I'm just using this." He said, since I started. I tested first. He tested on 100 hives first before he actually invested money to that. He said I tested on 100 hives, and they said to me that is very good. And he was concerned. He was not sure. So they said to him, "Well, what if we go and do through your all of hives for 1 season, and then you will make the decision?" And that's what there was. And he's so pleased he done that.
But they're not cheap. Those boxes
No,
aren't
no,
cheap.
no, no. That's a
They're
lot
like
of money there.
$4,000 or something. 3,500 was the cheapest one, I think, in euros,
Yeah,
right?
I didn't. I'd be honest with you, Bob. I didn't see anyone in UK yet, which that telling me everything. But they have over there. I was like, whoa.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hey guys.
How?
Through the wonder of electronics, Bob. Let me tell you about it.
How you doing, Mike?
Not too bad. We got another 8 inches of snow here and have more on the way. So
Well,
it's
that's
fine.
normal for you, right?
It's varied. I mean, in the 20s and 30s we had, and then the 50s and 60s, and a little bit in the 80s, but now we're up. It varies. So that's
Right.
okay. We haven't had this much snow on the ground where I have my cabin here in 25 years. So it's just kind of fun. So
Yeah, well, we're getting warmer. That's why it's snowing so much.
oh, that's what it is. Thank you for clearing that out. I was going to go into a dissertation on particle physics and dark matter, but
No, it's that global warming. That's
String
why it's
theory.
getting more snow up your way.
yeah, I need more farting cows apparently.
Mhm.
See, I saw that you had a cool and rainy day there today, Charlie.
Yeah, it's been that way pretty much all week. It's been either raining or just cold. The highs throughout the week maybe in the 40s, and then and
Yeah.
at nighttime, I think last night was 32 degrees. It's freezing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I just talked to cousin out there about that.
You're
That
welcome.
was,
Come on.
yeah. Say, Sebastian, I forgot. Where in the UK are you?
Southampton.
I'm sorry,
Southampton.
Hampton?
Southampton.
Southampton. Okay. Okay.
The Mike, I have to ask the Tom Selleck is the newish, right? Tom Selleck mustache.
No, I usually shave my my winter beard off in increments and end up with this. And apparently, I cut it just a little bit too soon. So
I gave everybody culture shock.
yeah, you sure have.
You know what? The bees
You
don't like
haven't
my
had a
beard.
haircut.
The bees do not like my beard.
Yeah, actually, all kidding aside, Bob, that's the reason I don't keep one at all. I just, for whatever reason, the bees will get tangled up in my face if I'm not wearing a veil, and I just don't want to deal with that. So just kind of playing
yesterday,
with that.
I wish I would have videotaped the grafting because Amir got stung twice. I didn't get stung at all during the grafting. So
Why would you get stung during the grafting?
we were grafting outside, baby.
Oh,
Hardcore.
Ace open suds. I know. I always like it when I'm grafting. I want it, well, not dark, but not real bright white light either. I like it where I can use a flashlight and
Right.
make the eggs glisten or the larvae glisten and stuff.
Michael shaves and cleans up when he has jury duty or worse.
Hey, Russell.
When either you're on the jury or being seen by a jury.
Yeah. I haven't had to do that in a while, so that gets kind of fun. They don't like me too much.
You won't know how many grafts took for a few days after you grafted, Morgan. So I won't know. I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday. I got to go back and take a peek.
How many did you graft though? You 21, 22?
22 again. So
when did you done?
yesterday.
Mm.
Yesterday, and made a couple more splits and
I was watching your
checkerboarded
so
some. Had a queen
yeah,
in the box, man. So Virgin Queen, they tore down everything they started. So
oh
and
wow.
my two dead queens over here. So
So
evidently she came back sometime. She either came back or hatched out right before I pulled these out, and I didn't catch her, didn't see her, and then grafted the second graft right a couple days later, and none of those took. So that's what we looked at this last time. But now we got her out of there, and she's walking around with her new family, and so hopefully this one will be much better.
oh right, that's good. That's good.
Well, I mean, as far as the grafting part of it for you, Bob, I mean, it's kind of a natural progression type of thing. You're getting hit with all the
Of course,
same
yeah.
problems
give up.
I've had, virgin queens. Got her, Mike.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Tune that thing down just a hair, would you?
You know, I really apologize. I have no idea how to, since I switched over to Linux, I have no idea how to do that. So I apologize. Sorry.
So
It's all right.
just tell you something. With the virgins, you always get fan in there because there always something happen. If you don't catch them in the time, that's what happened in the hives. So
yeah, so that one was a rogue cell or a rogue bee, because I knocked down before I grafted this last time. I went back in there and made sure all the cells were knocked down. So either she had hatched out before that and I didn't see her, or I don't know.
Yeah, but didn't you say that those other two cells were stung to death?
They had both of the larvae had a black spot on the side. So James is like, "Yep, that's where they got penetrated by a stinger." Yeah.
All right. Well, that tells me that 2 weeks ago that she was in there. Maybe putting out either she stung or maybe the worker bee stung for her.
It could be. So
it could have been sounds like a good possibility to me.
So she's out of there now, and she was out for 24 hours before we grafted and went back in. So should be good. They're all fed up and apist up and ready to go. And the colonies, they're doing good. My colonies are doing good right now. Matter of fact, too good almost. Not too good as far as collection. Their collection game is on point because they're backfilling as they're hatching out, and they're plugging it up with pollen and nectar. And we had to pull some of that out. Hey, one of you, one of these guys, kill this good-looking honky guy out of here.
I don't have.
I know who Peter North is, but it's probably not him.
Where?
Okay.
He's advertising he's Peter North, the 80s porn star in retirement, and this is his channel.
Yeah, right. Where's it? Have somebody kill him?
Well, I deleted his last comment.
Oh.
I don't have admin for that. Otherwise, I'd do that for you.
You don't have that, Michael?
This game recorded, it will get posted to YouTube very quickly.
Minnesota Mike.
Oh, I just hit block, so maybe I do. I apologize.
Yeah, Michael Palmer says shake your beast through an excluder. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, that's how he does. Yeah.
Yep, but here's the thing. When I made the starter finisher, I did shake the bees. I mean, I actually found the queen before I shook bees, right? So I found the queen, made sure she was off the side, then shook the bees. So the only thing.
Well, wait a sec, Bob, because I think the number that Jamie Ellis is referring to is that on average it's like 18 to 20% of the hives actually have a second queen in them. And we never notice because once we find the queen, we just stop looking. So you might have a second queen in there.
I hope not. I mean, they did make the first cells. So when they made the first cells, there wouldn't have been a queen in there, right? because they would have tore it down. So
Hey, thanks.
sometime between grafting and the first round, she was hatched and stung them, and then I pulled the grafts out, right?
Okay.
And then went back in, made sure there was no queen cells, but it wouldn't matter because she would have already been out walking around, right? So I did knock down some queen cells when I got these ones out, and then the second graft did not take, so she must have already been around in there. But it's all good. We're learning. I'm still growing even without. Hey, the queens are still growing, even though I'm not. None of them are the ones that I actually grafted. They're just
Exactly.
so.
And it's slowly you will improve. You learning everything.
Well,
And like you just mentioned, someone mentioned in the chat, like Mike Palmer do
through the
check
excluder.
bees through the Queen Excluder. That's
Mhm.
right. That's how he does. So
So what's
it's
going to
pretty
happen this time? It'll be my third round. Whatever I get is coming out. I'm leaving one cell with that starter finisher.
Yeah.
It's going to go over to my nucleus row to be that 3x6, right? And then I will put my new starter finisher right where that one was. So any forager bees will come back and land in there. So it's been a process, but it's going good. I mean, was I disappointed? Yes, I was very disappointed. But hey, is what it is. I can't.
Yeah, but the thing of it wasn't you didn't do anything wrong.
We don't know if I did because I
No,
never
what
got
I'm
that
getting
out.
at is Mother Nature stepped in and put a queen in there that you didn't know
Absolutely.
nothing about. It wasn't the fact that you didn't graft the right age larvae or you didn't do anything mechanically, I'll say,
Right.
stuff like that. Now, our question, Bob, what's the difference between a managing monitor and a standard monitor?
Who?
When you give somebody a tool wrench,
Uh-huh.
they got in here add as a managing monitor versus a standard monitor. What's that mean?
Well, standard
You know?
monitor, I think, is in chat. Managing monitor would mean I could probably log into your YouTube channel and
Okay.
change stuff.
All right, cool.
But the funny thing is that the queen that I've been trying to graft off of, that I haven't been able to get a graft off of, has already produced me several queens this year, right? So I accidentally moved that queen when I was trying to set up my initial starter finisher, and I put her in that 10 frame license, and she went ape in there and laid the whole thing up, and it became a 10 frame colony within about 3 weeks. And the colony that she was in, well, they made an emergency cell off of her, right? And we went in there yesterday, and she's back and mated and laying the place crazy. And yesterday, when we went to grab the graft, we found queen cells because they were backfilling it, right? So now I took those queen cells and split them off into 2 more colonies. So that cutout was, they're down to like 2 frames. I actually added a frame of brood to them, Jason, yesterday.
Oh yeah, James, you're right. You're absolutely right. Learn on mistakes. Nothing better to the learning on beekeeping.
Yeah,
And all of we was there, no problem, and we still will do that. Mistake is the biggest maybe problem for beekeeping, but it's, I tell you what, that's the best learning.
Yeah,
That's
school
the
of hard
best learning. So
so we'll see. It's gonna. I was talking to James, and I was thinking that I feel like I went from being a little ahead to a little behind. He's like, no, it's perfect timing. He said,
oh
because
yeah,
now these colonies that you've just given more room will have more brood in 2 weeks when you have these queen cells ready to hatch. And you'll be able to go through and have stronger colonies where maybe you could only split it 1 way or 2 ways before. So now you might be able to split it 3 ways. So
oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, your license, you have double brood. I'm right now. The
The
license, you have
license,
double,
that the
double
starter
brood.
finisher, the 10 frame license that I started, and I accidentally moved the queen over right when I found her when I was first starting. She went crazy in there. I mean, that thing, that's drawn comb. I already put a second box on that. It's she's doing good. But the thing was, when you make that, hold on, let me get my props here. So when you make that starter finisher, right? She was only going to be, 4 frames, 5 frames, 6 frames max when I put them in there. So their foragers will come back and they'll put the food frames right on the outside of the brood frames. Well, they weren't going outside. The queen wasn't leaving outside of that. And they started backfilling. So yesterday we moved the frames of food out and brought about 4 frames back in for her to lay up. So
So I got a question for you. Are you doing in 5 frames or are you doing 6 frames?
my starter finisher is a 6 frame starter finisher.
6 frames.
It's a 6 frame license.
He's got a license box insulated.
No. And so I'm sure you did watch Bob Biner about grafting.
Yeah, I've watched videos on grafting.
Yeah, I will get back.
When the kids come and they go, we got 95% on the first time. So.
No, not that one. He did mention something quite very important. Don't worry about the virgin. What you make you mess up, and then that happens to anybody. Can happen to me too. Anybody can have that, and even Charlie can have that, or James.
I've had it done.
So,
I've had it done.
That sometimes happens. You can't do it. Sometimes it's that way. You can't say it. Like Mike mentioned. So,
you got so many bees in that box, and she looks a lot like all the other bees, right?
But Bob is expert on this, and I could tell you what he did mention. He said, doesn't matter if it's 6 frames or doesn't matter if it's 10 frames. You have to fill up the box, nurse bees, much as you can. So even they fill up outside, they have to be filled up, because you know that fact. The more nurse bees in the nook, there is a potential the queens will be success. Really, be a lot about work what they needed, and then that's all about nurse bees.
Right.
No about foragers. So it's very true. Because this year or last season, I have a very good takes of more mine then, and I was just mad. I was just fill up my box, and I fill up all the time. So, and I was doing for 5 weeks. I didn't change after 3 weeks. I was doing for 5 weeks and just fill up nurse bees inside and then just grafting.
The whole complexion of my colonies has changed in the last month, though, because we had that string of about 3 weeks of 70 to 80 degree weather, right? So even some of my smaller ones that I thought weren't doing that well, they were back filling up. So they got checkerboarded yesterday and extra drawn comb in there for her to lay up in and give them some room. Come
on.
Oh, you have flow, Mike? Bob. Did you have flow?
We got a little bit of flow, little bit.
That's perfect. Are you feed them the syrup?
The starter finisher, yeah. They got everything they need.
The other colonies as well?
No, I haven't fed them. There's a few of the weaker ones I put a little bit on.
Yeah,
but the big ones, I just let them go.
But I will not feed them at all, even the weakest ones. What I would take frames for the strongest ones and give them the weakest ones.
Well,
and then get them in a flat way, the same all of the colonies, and then you will see in 2 or 3 weeks time. You will see in 3 weeks time if you do the inspection, and you will see the queen what she's performing. If she performing better, or she's down. If she's down, then I will just say, okay, you're clip, knocked it off. And
what I had was a bunch of. I had 3 or 4 colonies that were, or maybe 5, that were really doing really well. and then I had a bunch of them that were barely doing anything. So it was like I didn't want to rob from the rich to give to the poor in a dying situation. When I couldn't get them a queen, right? There was nothing I could do. So I did this last year, right? I made the splits, and the splits didn't make it. Now I've just basically took 30% of my overwinter colonies and threw them in the trash can because I couldn't produce the queens that they needed to survive, and they couldn't do it. So it was a struggle. So this year I kind of put in my head that I'm not going to waste good resources on a bad colony. Maybe once, like that cutout, I gave them a frame. If they don't get a queen this time, done. I'm not messing with that colony anymore. They'll just die out. There's only 2 or 3 frames of bees in there, and I'll make a strong split.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's everybody have different things, but I every season I look into straight away as soon as I can. I'm get them on the flat, so make sure they're all colonies the same power.
Yep.
So when you management in a spring come swarm managements, that is the biggest problem. You could manage them because you know what they are, what strength they are, and also when I see the queens they're not performing correctly, I mark that on the box straight away. I make an X. Okay, she is on my watch now. If she next 3 weeks, I give her frame brood, and she doesn't perform in a 3 weeks or 4 weeks time, then she's on the strike. She's going wherever what she will be. As soon as I get chance to requeen her, I will requeen her straight away. But I will not requeen with her own brood. I will find a brood, whereas colonies this spring are full power, really well over winter. I will nick somewhere, I take a frame from very good colony where I know is a good colony, good performance, good honey been done, and I will put a frame in there, and I will make sure this colony will get the queens from that frame. If there are, whatever it will be, I will knock off every queen cells out of that. I will only keep on this frame queen cells.
Well,
so
I'm probably
it's hard work, but you got to do this way because if you do that way, you will find out way where you will see the balance in the bees.
Well, what I've done so far this year is I've robbed brood, right?
Yeah.
For basically the split that's in that lice and 10 frame.
Yeah.
I've robbed brood to make my starter finisher, right? And tons of nurse bees. So, knock on wood, for the last 2 years, I have not had a spring swarm. I've been able to keep them in check for the spring.
How many swarms do you catch already this year?
I've caught 2 out in the city. People calling me and going to get them,
That's good.
But now I've got these. I still haven't put the other 3 together, but I've got those swarm boxes to hang up at the brewing plant out there. I've got to do that this week. Hang them up, and we're going to try to catch some wild bees out there. But last year I was too early, so this year as hard as it's been for me, I've held myself back to try to let these colonies get as strong as they possibly can to make nice splits. And I was watching Bob Binney's split video today. He's like, he takes it all except for 2 frames of brood in the mother queen stays in the colony, and everything else he splits out into nukes and takes them off and leaves forager bees, 2 frames of brood and a queen. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Well, if the queen laying really well, that's how they do.
Well, they do that, but they produce a ton of queens as well, right? So it's all about that cycle.
Yeah. But also the splitter they put in there, they going back tomorrow, and they gonna put new queen cells in there. So they got already queen cells in produced, or they got from California, wherever they got from. and they go already queen cells on the way, or they have them, so they will put queen cells in.
Yep.
But the best way to do is to put queen cell when they are 7 days old. So if you split today, just example, say Sunday, you split the colony, you make a split. I will not put straight away queen cell in there. I never put queen straight in there. I'd make a split minimum 5-6 days before, then I put queen cells in there. But make sure before I put, make sure there's nothing there. I check the nook, like proper inspection in there, and make sure there's no queen cells in there.
Other way to do that is make a vertical split and let them sit for 5 days, and that way there's no larva old enough to make a queen out of.
Yeah. But I'm not making powerful splits as well, because if you make a powerful split, then you know what happened. You got a lot of phage in there as well. You got to be careful of this. So I'm normally put up to 7 days, and then I put queen in there, or even you put a virgin queen in there, or you could put a queen cell in there, and they will have no problem accept that. So.
Good night, James. Let's see. James is dipping out.
Yeah, he said he was tired.
Too much work in the woodwork.
Yeah, he's probably banging out the woodwork. That's for sure.
No, he's putting together his dipping tank.
A deeper. How is it for deep for wax?
Yeah, he got his dipping tank in yesterday, and the tank doesn't require assembly, obviously, but the stand and the burners and the gas valves and I guess he's got some kind of thermostatic controller that'll keep the temperature of the wax at a certain temperature. So,
will have to be set up correctly.
So yeah, he's got help. He's got friends. So he'll get it done. He's still got a few weeks. He can't even pull his out of the barn yet. So.
Well, actually, Mike was talking about Bob's northeast of Bob Walker. Actually, he's in North Georgia, so he's actually south.
No, he's northwest of me.
Northwest?
Me, yeah, he's northwest of me. Bob's northwest of me about. It takes about 4 hours if I drove it to his place. And then Michael's, I'm a little bit southwest of Michael.
Michael, okay.
Buck,
Michael
yeah,
Buck.
Michael Buck. So not too far. I mean, I think it's about 80 miles to Michael's place, or at least the town that he's from in. And so the weather's just up and down too.
So how far you have Mike Palmer?
Michael Palmer. So where's Michael Palmer? He's in Kentucky, right?
No,
Vermont. No, Vermont.
Oh, shit. Vermont. He's probably 15 hours from me.
Oh, is it?
At least, probably.
A long way.
Yeah, he's a long way from me, too.
So if Charlie's 8 hours...
he's really close to...
he's almost to the Canadian line.
Yeah, it's not far.
Yeah. Vermont, northern Vermont up by the lakes, not that far. So he gets snow effect. Holy smokes. A lot of snow.
I mean, it's miserably cold up there. Have you feed them kittens?
I'm sorry, guys. This is the
that's fine with me. I find it quite amusing that how many beekeepers are cat lovers.
I have as well.
Because Brad
Brad
and James has cats. And
I've got cat.
I got cat and Mike there.
Well, I tell you what, they sure are handy mousers for the ones we just have in the backyard. So
yeah, I hear you there.
Yeah, this one here is a rescue, and the guy was supposed to come and pick him up. Right. And he's a feral cat, and he's got a lot to say. So sorry about that.
He's very talkative.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So Michael Palmer did a talk once about where he lives up there in Vermont, in the history of the area, and it was just kind of interesting to hear about all the battles that were fought up there and so on. Love my cats.
Yeah.
Got 4. There you go, Mark.
Yeah, Mark's got too. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's shoot, he gets feet. I mean, what, 4 or 5,
Yeah.
6 feet of snow. And then
Yeah.
he says he gets that hard storm or hard cold wind out of Canada come blowing
Oh,
through there.
yeah. Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
man, that's I'm surprised those folks up there don't do bee barns like James and Brad do, and the rest of the folks up there in Canada.
You mean storing inside?
Yeah.
That's not a cheap thing.
Well, he's got it figured out though. It's really interesting to see how that goes.
He's using polystyrene. It's so Bob Lyson boxes. They are potential up in North US because
Does Michael Palmer have any insulated boxes?
he does. He put insulating outside. He put,
Yeah.
if you look, he put insulated, and then he put like special materials on the boxes so they don't have too hot and they're not, so it's all in place in there. But you could see in the winter it was a snow. I remember probably about 2 foot snow, and he lifted up a box off the top his roof, and the bees just popping up like it was leaking. The bees basically it was leak come from the roof. So
Oh yeah.
that is something definitely work. And it's over there, like you mentioned, guys, 30, 25 minus. So come on, that is bee power there.
Speaking of bee,
Yeah.
this is a picture I sent to Sebastian yesterday. Charlie wants to bring. I sent it to Charlie too, but that's a slab. I mean, it's laid up. You can see the larva in the bottom of it down here. I don't think I can get it any further than that, but
It's really nice.
no, that's one he sent me. That's the other side. Brand new.
That's a nice pattern. Brand new comb.
Yep, and
Lovely one.
all out. So, and that was in the top box of actually that was one that I did the other day or a week or so ago. I actually put one of my new boxes that I painted pink in between a medium and over the deep, right? Pulled up, baited it with a frame of brood, and then put a queen excluder on top of the double deep, and then put the medium on top of it, so any brood in the medium would hatch out. And she's going pretty crazy in there right now, trying to lay it up. And
So
excited about that.
Team just mentioned about Mike Palmer about his brood factory. So yeah, that's right. He does insulated, not just a brood factory. He insulated everything for the winter, all of his hives. And what make me interesting is only on short season how they are in the power. So that is a crucial thing in a crucial game. So
You got a lot of, I mean, like Russell says, at least 120 pounds of honey on there, but also DC. I mean, I do know that I've seen some of his videos over the years where he actually had to take a pole to find out where he knows where the yard is.
Oh, yeah.
But he can't even see the hives, and he's punching, to find out where he's hitting the top of a hive and with a pole, and so they can dig out because he possibly have a cleansing flake the next day or so. And but the snow is definitely an insulator. But I mean, the big thing is like that's why I have the carpet around my hives like that. Is I know which way the wind blows, and it's not insulation. It's more of a wind block and everything.
Yeah, actually, windbreaks next to insulating your hive. That's the second most important thing you can do.
Now,
You,
where you're at, Mike, definitely. I mean, I would have polystyrene hives and everything else, but you got it even thicker than that, I think, don't you?
well, on the
Insulation.
top, I do. Actually, Russell Cooperman has got a fantastic assembly that he does. He puts 3 hives together and puts the pink polystyrene all the way around it. I wish he would come on here and talk, but it's a fantastic way to do it. But he and I were just talking the other day. So Troy Slaughter, my guy on the other side of the lake there, he started doing them in 4-packs. And if anybody's looking at insulating their hives, the super insulating their hives, the beauty of a 4-pack is they actually end up using half as much insulation, because for the 2 of the sides of the hive are backed up against another one. And I want to address something here real quick about tar paper. Tar paper is great. If the sun does come out, it will warm it up a bit.
My father using.
Yeah, it's a temperamental thing. It does offer some dead air space, but what I did this year a little different though is I used the B&B wrap. It's made here, and it's only like a 3.5, but then I've got the survival blanket, the Reflectix on the inside of that, not the bubble wrap stuff. But then I shrink wrap the whole doggone things using basically the black commercial poly saran wrap, the big tubes of it. And we're evolving on this whole thing now. We don't use any upper entrances. And we found that's not an issue because the upper part of the hive is so well insulated. We don't know what it is. It's somewhere between R30 and R60. You can't figure it out. There's a mathematical model involved there because of the reflecting survival blanket situations. But the snow that piles up on there, you get into really an interesting zone with that, because as long as you got powder up there, you're okay. But if you get rain on the snow and you start getting that melt of ice on top of the hives, then you actually have an ice block sitting up there. So, that's just some general things about insulation that goes out there. The one thing that we're modifying this year, though, is that all my deep supers, all of them have got the metal spinner entrances on them. I'm not seeing enough bees go out and take, cleansing flights. So we're going to open up the upper box, which is about that far down. So we still have the heat dome up there. So we're not worried about condensation at all. And we'll only open it up basically enough for 2 bees to fly out. So that's just a little diatribe on that. I'm going to try and do a much better video on it. But the shrink wrap beats the heck out of like nailing stuff to your hives in insulation, or it's just
shrink shop. Yeah, absolutely, shrink shop. You're very
good. Yeah. I really thank Troy for that. When I saw him, we were going to go wrap his hives up, and he had that big roll of black saran wrap. It's like, Troy, what the hell are we doing here? We're not making sandwiches. It's fantastic. So, anyways, enough of that.
But the biggest thing is in there is about heat in hives, and I did mention about the poly hives. Just in UK, we are wet, condensation, wet, and all the cold and all the stuff. And I find out polystyrene is quite very important in the winter. A lot of beekeepers said, no. I got open floor, and to me, the bees looks really powerful. So
absolutely.
So when you open your hive, Mike, I believe that will be the same horsepower there, because they have been good insulating for the winter. They will manage the temperature inside anyway, and they will come in through really nice in winter. So that's why I plan to change all of my brood boxes to poly.
They're wonderful for winter. They're absolutely bloody wonderful. There's no question about that. The outside thing, though, Sebastian, too, is that I actually have all of my hives are painted with a ceramic insulated paint, too, which doubles the R value of the wood. So, and I've talked to the southern beekeepers about that more because I think it would actually benefit them more for the bees staying cooler in the winter because the reflected paint is on the outside. So, there's 8 different ways to skin a cat.
Mm. There's a lot of different benefits of that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah, I
kind
know.
of
I had that license 6-frame nuke, and I tried that last year, and no top ventilation, and because of that insulation factor, you don't have that water raining down on top of the bees and stuff. And I had one. There's like 4 circles in the bottom that you can adjust your ventilation. I left one of them out, and
Mm.
bees, they didn't
Fire
eat as
all
much
plugged.
honey, and they did quite well.
I've
And
got it all plugged off right now, all of them, all the ventilation on mine, except for the entrance.
well, with all that fluctuation, I mean, like especially on your cell builder, with all that fluctuation and everything, you want it as, they're not going to get overheated. They're going to be fine with it.
Yeah,
No,
the need now open. It's not temperature stable like plus you got it like 80 or 85 all the time.
right.
This now in the spring is very important stable temperature in the hives, which mean they get them 80s where they produce the brood and everything. So I was actually making a video today. Actually, when I was on my hives today, I went on the hives, one of my April, and I lost a hive, which is queen, fail, queen. 100% as a queen fail. But what I'm getting the point to now, I was looking on the things, the highs where have solid floor, top, no, just a small hole like Mike mentioned, very small holes, just for 2 bees. And I tell you what, they are horsepower there. I just lifted the roof up and I was like, whoa, so much power in there. And tell you how important is early in the spring, the temperature, the brood inside, or they produce the brood. So the hive I lost, I just took it out open and I didn't see any brood in there. So I was like, oh, but I did find a queen. I was looking in through the bees and I did find the queen on the bottom of the floor. But be honestly, it's all about temperature. Very early in the year, very important temperature in the brood. So
yeah. And the other beauty of it is that, like we have our pussy willows starting to blossom now. The maple trees are just budding, but those doggone bees in those insulated hives, they get out and fly much sooner to bring the pollen in.
hmm,
Which is they can break cluster more and afford the foragers to go out there and do it. So it's a grand thing. But
hmm.
yeah,
So,
insulated hives, whether it's in the summer or the winter, uh, they benefit.
Yeah,
So
oh yeah, absolutely.
I got a
yeah,
question on another video from Michael that just came through. So I don't know how he's in this chat and watching another video. I don't know, but but he asked about the softening. After you sweat in your gloves, they get kind of stiff and hard. And
Yeah.
this stuff right here was sent to me by Don Bearden, and he said this is what he uses. He uses it on all of his leather, and it worked on mine. It softened them right back up. It's called Bickmore Bic 4 Leather Condition. Conditions, cleans, polishes, and protects, and will not darken your leather. He says he uses this on everything. He got it off of Amazon, and you don't need that much.
wonderful.
16 fluid ounces is what he
Yeah,
said.
because I have that problem all the time. My gloves are like stiff as a rock almost. You
So
say,
Is
what's it
anybody
called? What's it called? My BICK?
BICK4 leather conditioner. It's made by a
So
company called Bickmore.
I don't using leather gloves.
So
I avoid
that's what
using
I'm
them.
doing. I mean, it doesn't take me too many stings to know to put my gloves on. So
Yeah, I don't using leather gloves at all. I'm using gloves, so I'm put in the bin, dispose of them in the bin straight away, and
Oh,
that's my
okay.
hygiene.
Okay.
Like surgical gloves or something
So
like that.
leather gloves for me, I got a couple of aprons, so when I'm moving out around there, it would be no good for me moving, gloves you touch on frames and everything, so you could move
Right.
disease on the aprons. So for me, I have leather gloves just for like maybe swarms or something catch or something. Yeah, I'll use them, but not for my bees at all. So I'm just going to the hives, do my hives, 10 or 15 hives, just bin them. That's it. Thanks very much. Next. So you always get stung anyway. Whatever you do, if you try and get fast, you will get done. Basically,
Right.
the cop.
Yeah.
I was just say, Bob, do you know the copper's watching you? So
Right.
when you do the hive, the two coppers in the sky, they're watching you what you do.
I like the grafting glasses. I do like those.
Now, are those the ones that Lee suggested?
These are Likely's. I just searched them out.
Show them, please.
These are made by obviously a Chinese company called Yakto Sun, and I got them on Amazon.
Well, for grafting, you bought some.
Yeah, so they come with the one that I got has a set of 5 different lenses, so you can select your strength. It's also got the LED light on it.
Oh wow!
So
How much did you pay for them?
$30.
That's not bad.
Yeah, they're not expensive, but I liked them. I couldn't see the smallest larva without them. I'll tell you that much.
But
So
now you see it.
huh?
Now
Yeah,
you pick it up.
yeah, I can see it.
So
It works out. Now if I can figure out somewhere over here on my desk where my other lenses are, they're probably right next to my bag of Chinese grafting tools that I can't find. So I got too much stuff in here. Gotta go through.
Yeah, I found that bottle on Amazon. It's $16.99.
It's not bad. I mean, it doesn't take much. I literally just put like a quarter size drop on there, and I just rubbed it all over my gloves, and then took my gloves back off and let them do their thing, And then when I went back out to use them yesterday, they were nice. So, but when I graft and stuff like that, yeah, I'm using surgical gloves just for the feel, right? Can't do that in the big ones, in the big gloves, but
I use the marigold gloves. So make sure they are quite comfortable on your hands. So I don't use any gloves where they're not too big or something. I make sure they are
right, quite tight.
they sit nice and tight. So when you touch the frames, you're moving the frames. You know what you're doing. So even grafting the same.
Hey, there you go. Come on.
Yeah, he dropped the link up there for you, Charlie, in the chat.
Does anybody use mink oil anymore?
I don't. I still use what's the saddle soap? I use saddle soap a bit still.
Okay.
But,
It's, the only time I ever use gloves are if I'm like shaking bees, or if I'm going to go through a hive and all the damn foragers are back, and you just don't want to deal with that crap. But I just don't want to deal with it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I got stung in the hands a couple times, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm back with my gloves.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm working my 2-frame mating boxes, no, I'll go in there with no gloves on or I'm working with queens and stuff like that.
well,
And
that's when I put my gloves on when I went in that cutout colony, because they're still quite pissy.
yeah, and then of course right now with no flow, they're things
They're
are
not pussy.
they're
They're
kind of
spicy.
mean.
They're
super
spicy.
chilly. They're super chilly.
That cutout colony, they don't like anything. Well, they did kind of like it after I dropped them a new frame of eggs, brood, and larvae in there, right? So maybe they'll get to work. Now they got something to do, make some queen cells. So,
But yeah, every cutout you will have different, different
yeah.
nice spicy, or you will get nice combis, So
Well, those were definitely spicy ones because they didn't they didn't like to be cut out for sure.
Say, I've got a question for you guys. Have any of you guys ever used duct tape to line your shaker boxes to
No,
keep the
but
bees from falling out?
I've used
I
duct-
have, but I haven't really seen where that works as well as they say. Or he
Yeah.
said, well, Michael Palmer says.
I can't help but wonder. It probably varies with the different types of tape that we use, but
I don't know.
I
It
used to.
seemed like duct tape used to be really good and a lot of sticky to it, and now they've cheapened it up and it doesn't stick good. You got to buy the Gorilla tape, which I think is probably the same company making the same stuff.
Same thing, yeah.
No, actually, just for everybody's reference here, I'm going to send you guys to a channel called Project Farm, and he goes through and tests all the different tapes. As far as our using it though, just for like a shaker box, the difference between the metallic 3M duct tape, it's not metallic, it's silver colored, and the Gorilla tape, as far as just the surface that, for having the bees walk on, I have no idea what the difference is. But we did line all the shaker boxes with the silver stuff, and it helped quite a bit, but haven't done it in years. I just keep shaking them in and have the bees fly out and walk over me. And it's,
yeah, I tried that, and I don't know. I had an issue with a hive. I did find the queen with 2 daughters in that same hive one day.
Come on.
Now I know to buy and have 3 or 4 queen clips at all times.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. What are you doing to that poor cat? Where's that? Bring that cat up here so we can see him.
He's just jealous because the Siamese is up behind me. So this guy is he's so freaking jealous. Anyways, that's what he's got going there. I thought he'd need to go outside for a second, but no, he just pay attention to me. Okay, whatever. Give me cat. Yeah.
Tim uses Mylar tape and all. I tried. I made a shaker box up, and I'm like, I don't know. I try not to have to do all that stuff.
But Mylar, that's a great thing. Thanks for that tip, Tim. Got to try that.
It froze up when I did the update. An update on my router or my network card.
Hey.
So, Bob, what are you gonna make from this nice bio? The big bag. What you gonna make from that?
Oh, that's for sale, man. For my website. I don't need 600 pounds of pollen sub, but some commercial beekeeper might need it. That's why I only got one of them. I order them one at a time. So.
Well, I'm gonna make a patty. So.
Yeah, I do my own patties too, but the thing is that I don't do 600 pounds of them at a time, and
I will do a lot.
Trust me, I'm not at a shortage for apis.
No, but I will be doing, because this is for patties is good when you're breeding queens as well. Very good.
If you need rocket fuel, I've got rocket fuel. I'm not out.
That's good. Huh?
I've got plenty, and I just knocked all the stuff over.
Wow, rocket fuel in there as well. Look at that.
And then I've got for the pollen sub right here. So
yeah, pollen. I have pollen, plenty pollen. I have.
But being a distributor, I've got to have some in stock. So when one of my stores calls me and says, "Hey, I need to order some more," then I've got to be able to send it out, right? I can't say, "Well, I'll have it in 12 days when it gets here from Canada." So I gotta have it ready to go.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which kind of happened to me the other day, because someone's like, "Hey, I need some to go to the show in North Carolina." Great, I'll send it to you.
Guys, I gave you head ups in this, Bob. So in UK here, I'm not saying we don't have anything, but we have. But most of the stuff is exporting. It's exporting from Europe, Some of boxes, Langstroth boxes, they're exporting from Norway, or they're exporting from Canada or US.
Right.
So there's not much producer here where you could have it. So I was looking, researching, try find out good patties, and I could not find it. So I'll speak to Ian about that. Ian gave me tips where to get that from, and I got it. So I will have that in the post. It's on the post now on my way. So
But if you go to their website now, at least as of today, they have the ordering shut off from the company. They're trying to push it down the supply chain now. So you may have a problem getting it from unless you become like a distributor in the UK.
yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to get something here. Um, it's even I don't know, like before they've been exporting, bringing queens. You could buy some queens from Europe. Good selection queens you could have. Now it's difficult one. You know,
Right.
all the Brexit messed up everything. And now, just example, you want good patties in there, make your patties in. You can't make it without good product. You can't make it anything because this can't be in there. Same as the funding. Have fun enough. Hive Life. Yeah. Hive Life is only what? 400 miles away from me. Maybe 500. But for you, 2,500 miles away, yeah?
Right.
With the Hive Life, you can get very easy or can't. How does that work?
Well,
Explain me this.
they were out of it for a while here, from what I understand, and then they
They,
started getting it back
but you know where they produce the Hive Life?
in Ireland.
Hive. No, 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 no. No. Hive Life is produced in Europe.
Yeah, Ireland, right? That's the
No, 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 in Slovenia somewhere.
Oh, no kidding.
I thought
Yes, I am not kidding. I'm not
No,
kidding.
I wonder if it was just the Irish
Hive
guys that came.
Live.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things where we don't know. But I was speaking to someone, a bee farmer, which he ran in big shop in UK, and I asked him, he's speaking to him about that, and he said I was researching, trying get find out things, and I asked him the question, and he said, Seb, you is we don't know why, but they don't produce this in Ireland. They put the ingredients, everything, send over there, and they produce over there. Because the machines where they produce this, everything in there, they have all set up. This apparently who's make this for them, they have all set up already. Imagine you got £1 million or $1 million machine where it already produce everything. Yeah, with numbers, I would say numbers games. You know, like
they've got an Irish address here.
yeah, oh yeah, I got English address as well, Bob.
You just can't get it, huh?
Yeah, but that's how you order. So you know you're the business. So where you make it is not that people that need to know that where you make this from. So that's how it is. But a difficult understand for me it was you actually can't have in USA patty, Hive Life patty, but in UK you can have it. How's that work?
Oh, that's because they get the Hive Alive pollen patty made at Global Patty, just like the Apis patty.
But if you got global, I would say if you global business around the world, how can you not get that around the world? Huh?
Because it's
That's
just
not
the
global.
name.
Yeah, exactly. It's just I'm not
Yeah,
going to sweat
yeah.
on Charlie's side, but it's just really, I could say, it's a really crappy things for me. So,
You sound
and
like you
thanks
live
for
where I live. I can't buy anything here without ordering it from everywhere else, right? Frames, I
yeah,
got to get them from California or Tennessee or New
exactly,
York.
yeah, exactly. So that's me. So I try and work up ahead to get something in there because it's really difficult for me. Some, everybody got different, everybody
Well,
different.
with global patties in the U.S., where I mean, I know that is it.
Canada, that come from
Montana.
Canada.
They got it in Canada, but they also have it in Montana.
What
Yeah,
about Better Bee? I think that they sell it, but they don't say they haven't
They
sold
re
it.
they I
Huh?
think they're a reseller. They stock it and sell it, but thing is, I mean, compared to Apis Biologics, the price is much better on Apis Biologics than it is on Hive Alive. So I don't know. And this says ships from Kentucky. So I guess they have Hive Alive has somewhere in Kentucky.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
was just
don't
wondering
know.
about like global patties with apis in it.
So
I mean, I got a 10 pack, a 10 pound pack from down at Hive Life. I was just wondering whether they're going to have a more broader distribution of that.
You can order directly from Global Patty your boxes too. You don't have to buy it. It's kind of like Hive Alive. You can buy it from directly from the company, and they'll send it to
They're
you.
in Montana.
They have one in Montana. Yep. I talked
Interesting.
to the owner, which is how this product even came about. This big bag. It's because guess what? A bag of or one batch of Global Patty weighs 600 pounds. So that's why they have these 600-pound packs, so they can send them this, so they can do their whole batch at one time, right? So the
Okay, Brian, what are the two other additives you're talking about there?
Well, they got 50. I mean, did you see Ian? He went up there to global. He got the 15% real pollen along with apis.
yeah, that's right.
You know, he's not mixing it anymore.
No, no, but
Yeah.
I have to mix in, Charlie. I can't do. I got no option.
Yeah.
But what Bob
Well,
have
I
in
mean,
hand,
I think that,
that's what I will have.
yeah, I think Ian,
make sure
like
you
he
put it
was
in the
saying,
freezer.
huh?
Make sure you put it in the freezer after you open it,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
so you don't doesn't grab any moisture out of the air.
Hmm.
I haven't opened my box at all, so it's not in the freezer.
Yeah, well, I mean, after you open it. So what's the
I'm
Hive
gonna save,
Alive pollen
I'm gonna
patty?
save mine for. Have you been putting any pollen patties on those graphs?
Yeah, they had it on it, but now they got pollen frames in there too, and I had pollen patty on top until I saw some beetle larvae in it the other day, so I pulled it out.
That's right, you did. Yeah, I've seen that.
The big bag retails for $220.
How much?
Like I got it, $219, $229, something like that. $220, $219.99. And I didn't set that price. That was set in Canada.
Are you going to go outside? You want to come up? No, come here.
But this is specifically designed for commercial beekeepers, or it makes sense for Sebastian if he can't get anything, that he can use smaller amounts and make it right.
Of
It's the same.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's a bigger pack of it.
Oh yeah, buy in bulk.
Yeah, I mean, you save money buying it this way too, per pound.
Okay.
Deal, you know? It's just $220. That's what it is. And you don't want to know
Cost
what
me, I think it was $19 deliveries, the Canadian dollars.
Did you got that big one?
Yeah, $19 Canadian deliveries. Yeah.
Or did you get the smaller pack like this?
No. $19 you pay for all just deliveries. I'm saying.
Oh, just the shipping
Just
for
the
it?
shipment. Yeah. Just the shipment.
That's cheap. I pay more shipping on it to get it here.
Yeah, exactly. I know that. So when I ship seeds to United States, I ship to my friend to Ontario to Canada. It cost me like £7-8. But if I send that to US, it's about double or even triple.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah. So
Ship. So to give you an idea.
So here's an open question for everybody. Go ahead.
Right.
I'm just going to ask if everybody's getting their frames and foundations.
Where they're getting them?
Who they're ordering them through.
I'm going to be ordering some, but I'm not using wood with foundation, so it won't. But I do know if you go to Man Lake, you can get 100 frames. They're the budget frames for $129, 100 of them. So $1.29 a piece. But then you can sell them all, and then
that's cheap.
Yeah, but compared to my price on getting the plastic frames, it's not that cheap. So, you know, by the time
How much you get for plastic, Bob?
Wholesale, not including the shipping, because I can't really calculate that until they invoice me for it. Where is it? I want to say $1.80.
Cheap.
For
That is cheap.
yeah, but I've got to get a ship. I got to buy a pallet of them, right? So it's not like I'm buying 5 frames. I'm buying
No.
Yeah.
1,200, or you know what I mean. And then I got to pay $400 and some to get it shipped from California out here. So the price goes up. I mean, let me see. What's 29? Yeah, I mean, when I first started buying my wood frames, I think I got 100 of them for $80-something from Man Lake, and they've gone up. You know,
Charlie, what do you do?
What do you mean?
he gets acorn frames.
Oh yeah, I get all plastic.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, that's what it was.
I just don't have the time to sit here and put frames together. I get the triple wax.
No.
So even at $3, if you paid $3 a frame, that's $1.50 cheaper than buying, at least $1.50 cheaper than buying a wooden frame.
Yeah.
With the foundation.
Yeah, it's correct.
So it's.
I don't know. I bought about 6 cases of frames last year. I guess it was something like that. I buy about 3 cases of deeps and 3 cases of mediums, and then I try to maybe get a couple guys together here. You know, the more you. At the time, I would call up Nick, and he was a salesman out there, or email him and say, hey, you know, and he said, well, there was a price break in there about shipping because I was shipping direct to a business. And I said, yeah, I mean, I can take, you know, I got forklifts, everything. And, but you know, what gets me is like, he was sending a tractor and trailer here, and here comes an extended US or UPS truck. That's all it was. And then he's throwing the boxes out the back door where we put them on a pallet.
Really?
Yeah, that's all it was. Wasn't no tractor and trailer, no freighting. They were running them all by UPS. It's like no big deal to me.
Honey and bee.
But he would be like about $100 savings on the shipping for some reason. Now, I don't know. They say the website, he's retired and somebody else is taking over. And if you don't buy X amount,
that's right. Yeah.
You got to buy X amount of frames in order to get any discount or whatever. So
Honey and Bee Connection has
I think I have to.
Some decent prices. Yeah, they do. I mean, their frames are like, it says $2.15 to $200. I don't know what options they have. I guess if you buy 100, maybe they're $200 or $200 for 100 frames. Oh, they're assembled already. Okay. And they carry acorn frames. $250 to $169.20. So I wonder if the case is $169.
I think Russell and I were talking about, doing the foundation and putting the frames together. And he'll correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think we were saving $50 per 100, something like that. And I have to order somewhere between 400 and 600. So,
Yes, that's correct, Mike. You might save it, but in a long way, plastic frames is good because you could actually follow a season. If you have any issues on the frame, you could actually scrape it off, wash up, clean up properly, and you could reuse it again. Wax them up and reuse it again.
Yeah, see, that's a grand point.
That is a massive point, which I'm using already plastics, roots. Frames I have, and I'm slowly every season now I will buy a new one.
What are your plastic frames though?
I'll buy some in foam, but they're exporting from United States. I know that. So they're not produced here in UK. They are come from US. So I'm working on this because it's you got 50
Your
hives. You got
bees don't hate plastic. You hate plastic. That's the difference. The bees will draw. Now, what I will say is sometimes my bees do draw.
No, actually, let me help him out here. Uh, yeah, I got to throw something at that because I just had a discussion with Rodney Milton about that. And this is going to help everybody here. If you have any old foundation that's left over from last year, or in some cases, even when you get new in the box, take a hair dryer to it. You would not believe what kind of difference that makes. You're just freshening up the odor of the wax.
I've taken them straight out of the box and dropped them in, and they've done fine. And then some of them, randomly will draw out crazy comb on them, and some of them they won't. But most of them, I mean, they do pretty good. Yeah, see, $240 of that was shipped.
Bob, do you ever freshen your wax?
I haven't yet. I don't have a hair dryer. Do I look like I need a hair dryer? I rub a towel on it. I'm done, baby.
Hey, don't be a dick, Bobby. I actually had to borrow one from my neighbor's daughter. So, honestly, God, that was so funny. It's send one of my friends over to the neighbor, and she goes, "Well, why does Mike want a hair dryer?"
Right. I might have a good price on if my damn money will credit. I might have an excellent price on some frames, because Peerco is willing to take a trade of swarm lure where they'll carry my swarm lure and use that to offset the cost of some of my frames. So that gives me a much better. Let's see, but they aren't going to start living with it.
That's
bees are into.
So we pay here a plastic frame. It's I think for £4 plastic, around about £4 plastic one now.
Yeah, I think
Who's
honestly,
the manufacturer?
Beekeeping.
I don't know. He come from United States, so I don't know.
Okay,
interesting.
Well, I'll say either Peerco or Acorn right on the top of them.
Yeah, Peerco. Yeah, I think it's a Peerco ones. But we have to order ahead. If I want to order like 50 or 100, I make sure I have to order them early, so I will get them.
And the shipping is crazy, right?
Yeah, the shipping is expensive. So it's around about £200. You will have to order them, so we get them. So.
William, yeah.
Larry said.
So if I might have a great price on frames coming up, so we'll see.
Well, right, guys, I'm off now.
All right,
yeah, I got to run here too. Yeah. So
nice to talk to you anyway, and
yeah,
watch out. I will have someone next weekend. So,
all right.
Yeah. See you later. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, nice have a grand.
Have a good week. Have a good week.
All right, Sebastian.
So
you heading out, Mike?
I am, but I don't know what the heck is going on here, but honestly, good night, Russell, and all. The frames that I break consistently are the black ones, the black solid plastic frames, and I don't know who the manufacturers are.
Most of those from either Acorn or from Peerco, what I found, or China. China makes some too, but the plastic frames don't equal. Well, it gives them a good place to hide. I also have some of those new ones from Saracel, the Hive beetle frames, that are a little bit more expensive, but as compared to those long slots that the beetles get into around the frame. They've got a honeycomb design, so the bees will actually.
Yeah, I don't have the beetles per se. Compared to what you guys have down south.
Oh yeah, no. Charlie and I are much luckier in that.
You know what though? I found out that if time is not a thing for you, believe it or not, wooden frames with fishing line, they draw them out really great. I mean, they just hang in there, do their festooning and draw it up as they need it.
I'm right there with you, but honestly, I'm so big of a klutz. Kentucky just put that up too. I know doggone well I'd be knocking those things out.
Well, the fishing line, believe it or not, if the fishing line is tied on there really good, you can put it in the extractor. Great. And what I like about it is if I get a really nice frame of drawn comb honey in there, I just cut the fishing line, drag the fishing line out and cut it. Boom, cut comb. Honey or whatever you want to do with that. But
yeah, that's one thing. I got 2 Ross round kits, I guess you'd call them.
Mm-hmm.
The boxes with the Ross rounds in them and everything, and 2 boxes full of rings and lids, and $50. I thought that was a pretty good deal. For 2 Ross round 10 frame kits.
No, I don't think they're shorter, but they have wax sprayed on them, right? So the wax sprayed on top of the frame gives them a starting point to start building burr comb on it. So that's, I've had it, but what I do once they start drawing up there, I just spray them off,
Top bars.
The top bars.
Well, y'all have a good week. Good luck on your grafting.
Oh yeah, we'll know.
Yeah,
we'll know
I'm
Tuesday or Wednesday.
really getting choppy here too, but
yeah, I can hear it.
Take care.
All right, Mike.
Goodbye.
Have a good one.
All right, Mike.
So yeah, that's the thing. Just trying to manage the purchases, right? With the new expansion, or I just need frames to fill the boxes I've got. I'm probably going to need some bottom boards and migratory covers, but to be honest with you, I haven't found any that I really like. So I might make my own migratory covers, because the ones that I've been buying have multiple pieces of wood that are kind of butted up together, and they just kind of start doing crazy stuff after rain gets on them. So I don't know, jury's out on that, on whether I'm going to buy those same covers and bottom boards. And who knows, if the bees get too strong, I may not even be able to. I might be shaking them all down in a single brood and throwing this excluder on them, right, and let them go.
What I would do.
Probably what's going to have to happen. But I went from the singles to the doubles just to let her lay more brood, so I could then use that brood to split.
Well, that's a good move on you. You have to kind of know what you're going to do. You're trying to make queens and cells and all that, and then you're trying to also grow your apiary. So you're pulling brood without reducing your brood factory dramatically.
Right.
And that's a good
It's
plan.
And will it work? Don't know, but you guys will be on the ride with me the whole way. So we'll see how it ends up. But the good thing about having a lure and selling some things on the website, well, guys, if you have that business, these companies will sell wholesale to you, especially if you sell a few things or whatever. Someone like Larry that buys a ton of stuff, he's got a ton of colonies. I'd be reaching out to these suppliers saying, hey, I need this much. What can you get it for? What can I buy it for? They'll give you a discount, and you'll be able to sell, you'll be able to buy more. The stuff that I do is more, honestly, it's small packages that, I'm not sending out 10 boxes or something like that. I'm sending out like a pack of Apis, couple packs of Apis, some bullets. It's small stuff that'll fit in a small package. So it makes it easy to ship. Queen market pins that are coming in, stuff like that, Yep, that's what I'm doing. And by this time last year, I would have already split, And yeah, do I have some splits? Yeah, kind of. The ones that I had to split because they had cells, but it wasn't like stuff that I was planning to go in and split right away.
Yeah, but look at the weather right now. You would have been the same shape you were last year. You had hot, and all of a sudden, bang, you got cold snap. So it's just not. Hardeman's is. I found out talking to a friend of mine yesterday. I guess it was. Hardeman is starting to graft and stuff like that, and it's 80 plus degrees down there. Of course, they're way south of you. And then when you know about Kudix, they're making bees and whatever.
I was just, Octavio sent me a message. Hey, I got some more queen cells if you want to come get them. Well, I don't. I mean, last year, if it was last year, maybe not. Probably Tuesday, Mike. Probably Tuesday. We'll should know by the show on Tuesday night, because they should be in my hands by then. So the
Sprinkle Brute Management and
in a journal what you're doing. I'm gonna go back through. I just ordered here it is. So I did order a yellow marker, even knowing I have 450. Well, how many do I have? 250 pins coming. I got 250 marking pins coming in, but I still got a yellow one, so I could mark my yellow ones. But I've got those pins coming. So supposedly they're supposed to be here Tuesday. If we're lucky, they come tomorrow. And
I'm gonna try those pins that you got. See if they're better than what I got.
Well, I saw someone had them on Facebook earlier. He was selling them for $5 a pin. And he said that's the one that Bob Benny uses, James uses, and Cayman's using, and everybody's using now. So we'll see. I mean, these are made in China. I don't know where the other ones are made.
What else? What is made in China?
Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of the name of the game.
Well, hopefully this frame deal will go through. I need frames, but at the same time, I still have a case and a half of mediums, which is about 100 frames, right? And I've got about 75 deep frames in there, plus what wasn't drawn up. I still got some frames that are outside that haven't been drawn up and stuff like that. And the other thing that James suggested yesterday, he's like, well, if you cut that foundation in half and make those storyboards, they're still going to draw that other half of the comb out right there. So I guess
I still don't understand what the storyboard's gonna. What does it tell you, other than the fact they're drawing? All right, they're drawing drones. Okay, so
I guess
they ain't saying they're going to swarm.
A good population in there,
if
they're drawing.
Put a drone frame in there and do like Brad said. Put a drone frame in the third slot, and they'll draw a drone out. And they won't.
I haven't been able to get them to draw out a green drone frame yet.
Is that right?
Even the one that I rolled my own beeswax on, they didn't draw out. So they said fortune cookies made in New York. Let me see. See, it helps.
Yeah, that's right. Direct cut.
Oh yeah, helps them from being between the boxes. I gotcha. But anyway, it's coming on 11 o'clock now, Charlie.
Yeah, I'm ready to head out. That's all. Got to get up and go to work tomorrow, and all. And this time changes screws me up for a while.
Maybe I'll get lucky and my money will actually credit to my account. That would be nice.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's see. It's been 2 hours. So, everybody, we're going to go ahead and end the broadcast here for tonight. And we'll see you Tuesday night on what? Your channel or
No, we did the giveaway last week. It'll be on Lee's channel this week.
be on Lee's channel.
Hmm.
Should be on Lee's Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Kodiak Farms live stream.
No record tonight. No, I got to go to work tomorrow.
And all that stuff.
But who's the man now? Charlie's been dethroned on his broadcast night.
Oh, record. I get it now.
The record, yeah.
Nah, I don't care about that. That wasn't the point of that back then anyway.
Yeah, it was fun though.
Yep, it was good. Just anyway, always good to talk with all our friends across the country. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the broadcast, Bob.
All righty.
All right, and everybody else, we'll talk to y'all later. See you Tuesday night.